Now, we all only have 24 hours in a day, and you do need to sleep a few of those. So how long should it take you each and every day? What are some of the best tips and tricks in each area that IMSD helps you with? What are some of the ways that you can make the most of your day? Let us tell you the lesson that we have learned. No matter how many 5-hour energies you drink, there are still only 24 hours in a day. You don't get extra time. Let's break it down by how much time each area of lead creation you should focus on for 2013. Here we go. First, advertising. Advertising should take care of itself through leverage very quickly. This is you ordering signs, making flyers from your templates, things like that. This should take you 15 minutes. At the most, 15 minutes a day. We don't want to see you taking any longer than that. How long is it really to order a sign? I'm sure there's someone in your office that can help you make that go quickly. How long should it really take you to make a flyer? Well, after you make the first one, none. It should be easy. So 15 minutes a day, we're going to give you on your schedule for advertising. Pay-per-click. We're going to give you 15 minutes a day for pay-per-click. If you've taken our pay-per-click webinar, and if you haven't, go check it out, you'll learn how easy it is for you to build an ad. It might take you 15 minutes to build an ad on your first day. It might take you 15 minutes to build an ad on your second day. Once they're running, it should take you 3 to 4 minutes every day really to just check on your ads. So we're going to give you a nice 15-minute block every day for you to be working on pay-per-click. Let's add a little more time to our day now. Blogging. We're going to give you 15 to 30 minutes a day for blogging. Now, you can also do this all at once. Some people like to do this and they say, I'm not going to do 15 to 30 minutes a day. I'm going to put aside an hour to an hour and a half once a week. That's okay if that's how it works better for you. When we talk blogging, we're covering some of that SEO success as well. Go back, watch our SEO classes, learn the concepts of SEO. Once your website has been SEO'd, now it just becomes part of your blogging strategy very much on a day-to-day basis. And you just want to keep it in mind as you're using your 15 to 30 minutes a day for blogging. Well, now let's add a little bit more time, and let's go a half hour a day for social media. Yes, a half hour a day, not all at once. Break that up. 3 10-minute sections. 3 10-minute sections every day should be focused on social media. If you're spending more time than that, you're playing. You're not working. You do that on your own time. During your lead creation work, 3 sessions of 10 minutes a time will cover enough social media. And if you're not sure how to do it that quick, go watch our social media classes because we will go over again and again how easy it is to focus that time once you've got it set up. Craigslist. This one we're going to give you 45 minutes a day. 45 minutes a day for Craigslist success. That's actually 3 15-minute sections. Because we know it takes some time to get in there, create an ad, post an ad, renew an ad, move on to the next ad. We're giving you enough time that if it takes you 3 minutes to do an ad, you can do 5 ads every time you're there 3 times a day. Not one section for 45 minutes. 3 15-minute sessions. And then the last area to add to your time every day becomes your sphere. And you should be spending 1 hour a day on your sphere. 1 hour a day making videos for your sphere, calling your sphere, emailing direct to your sphere, whatever it might be, 1 hour a day to your sphere. If you add that all up, you now have 3 hours of lead creation that you should be doing every single day. You should be starting around 8 in the morning and going till 11 o'clock on lead creation. If you want to go 9 to 12, fantastic. 8 to 11 is perfect. Some of these things like Craigslist, blogging, pay-per-click easily can be done before you want to start picking up that phone at 9 o'clock. So 8 to 11, 3 hours a day. will take you through your lead creation plan. Let's look at each one of these areas and give you a way to help you keep it on time. All right, here we go. Social media. You should be using lists. If you're not using lists, you're wasting your time on social media. If you don't know how to make lists, you go on Facebook, you click on more beside where it says friends. If you don't see friends on the left-hand side, you click see more. And then it will take you to this screen, and you can just click on create a list. Create your list on Facebook. Create multiple lists, a buyer list, a seller list. I have a list, I call it my most valuable contacts. 20 people are in there, that's it. If I want to add someone, I have to remove someone. I get to Facebook every day. First thing I do is I click on my most valuable contacts list. I can now see what the 20 people that I believe are the most valuable people for me to contact every single day on Facebook have posted, have said, have shared since the last time I looked on the Facebook. Since the last time I looked on Facebook, I'll see everything that they've said. I can comment, I can like, I can engage, I can be informed, and I can move on, and it takes me 3 minutes. I can click on a list for my family. I can click on a list for a certain city. I can click on a list for my potential buyers, my potential sellers. I can click on a list of my current sellers, so it's easy for me to keep in touch with what they're talking about on Facebook. Folks, give me a list right now you could create on Facebook. While you're typing that in, I'm going to answer John's question. John says, can I create lists on my business pages? No. Your business page speaks to everybody. Your personal page is how you engage with people. Okay, your personal page is a conversation. Your business page is more of a shouting it from the rooftops and hoping people engage with it. Past clients, people in my area, my church members, investors I work with. That's a great one because then you can find out what they're up to, and when you have a great investment, you can focus on who you share it with. If you're using lists on Facebook, on Twitter, on all the different social networks that we talk about, you'll be able to filter very quickly and filter through the noise and spend 30 minutes a day. That's 3 10-minute sessions. Do it first thing when you get in. Do it somewhere when you decide to have lunch or when you're done your lead creation before you go on for the afternoon, and then do it sometime near the end of the day. If you're doing this and you use a different list each time, check your sellers in the morning. Check your most valuable contacts in the afternoon. Check your buyers in the evening. Change it the next day. Go to your church group. Go to your investors. Whatever it is, if you use lists, you'll keep yourself to 10 minutes or less easily on social networks. You can see how easy it is to put people into lists. So here you can go to their screen, you can click on where it says friends, and you can add them to lists. It says it right there. Add to another list. Create as many lists as you want right there when you're on Facebook, and you'll keep yourself in your 30-minute window. About blogging. It's like a Lego project. Can work on it coming together. We gave you 15 minutes to work on your blogging to 30 minutes every day. Now that doesn't mean you have to write a blog every day. Maybe on Monday, you're focusing on what keywords you're going to target that week. And then you might want to post a blog on Tuesday. You might want to fine-tune something on Wednesday and post a blog on Thursday. Or maybe you're taking 15 minutes on Monday to figure out your keywords for the week, and then on Friday you've put aside an hour because you've added up all that time, and you're going to sit down and write 3 blogs that you're going to post through the following week. You don't have to post every day. You don't have to post them all at once. Spread them out. Post as needed. Right when you have the time for that 15 to 30 minutes a day. Gather other information. Read other blogs to see what other people are saying. Put 15 to 30 minutes a day on your calendar for blogging. That's going to focus on information gathering, photo taking for your blogs, and focusing on your keywords. It's like a giant Lego. You don't build it all at once. You put the pieces together, and then they grow, and they grow, and they grow. Again, each one of these, we have a full hour dedicated to for you to follow up on. What about pay-per-click? Pay-per-click, it's the ads that show up, remember. It's the stuff on the top, and it's the stuff on the right-hand side in the column. We're not going to get into all the details on how to use pay-per-click and where you should rank on pay-per-click and how much you should spend on pay-per-click because we gave you a whole class on it. Yet we're going to tell you again, 15 minutes a day, mostly ad creation. If on Monday's blogging section you decided the keywords you're focusing on for the week, well, you just worked into your pay-per-click section as well, didn't you? Because you know the keywords you're focusing on for the week. Now, put yourself into a position where you can create ads. Remember the tips we shared with you on ad creation and monitor your expense on pay-per-click. 15 minutes every day. Make sure you know what's going on. Well, now how about Craigslist? How do we save time on Craigslist? Because I'm giving you 45 minutes a day on Craigslist. That's 3 15-minute sections. 3 15-minute sessions on Craigslist. How do you make the most of that? Well, you make your ads and you save them in a Word file or Pages file if you're cool and using a Mac. And you copy and paste, you copy and paste, you copy and paste. It should take you about 3 minutes to create an ad. If it's faster than that, they're going to start to think you're a computer. Keep that in mind. Yet every time you create an ad, save it as a Word document. Save it as a Pages document and copy and paste. There's no need to recreate every ad, rewrite it every time you want to run an ad. Just use the ad once. Change what you need to in the ad. Save yourself a lot of time on ad creation. And if you're doing that, you can easily keep it to 3 15-minute sessions and take full advantage of Craigslist. And then we're giving you 1 hour to call your sphere. That's right. There's no shortcut on this one. There's no copy and paste. There's just do it. Go host an event. You want some shortcut? Go host an open house and invite all your sphere to come by and eat your cookies. Then they'll come in and they'll see you. So what if they don't buy the house? Your goal is to see your sphere at that time, and it will make your open house look busier. Maybe host a holiday party, do a toy drive, be a part of the local parade, and make sure your sphere sees you and engages with you if you want to have a shortcut to that. And we'll talk about some of those things in a little more detail. Otherwise, pick up the phone and call them at least 1 hour a day. And if you do that, you've got 3 hours of lead creation every single day, and you've got your afternoon to be out with those buyers and sellers that you're making those appointments 1 a week at least. Now, the next question we usually get says, Chad, I understand now. Thank you for the tips and where I should spend my time because, boy, I've been on Facebook for 3 hours a day and I only call for 12 minutes. Right. You're not focusing in the right place for the right time. Now you understand the time commitment. And if you really don't want to touch one of those areas, use that time in another. If you've chosen not to use Craigslist in your business, or you've chosen not to blog in your business, take those 5 minutes, take those 30 minutes, put them in calling, put them onto social media, whatever it might be, until you're ready to add those aspects to your business. Well, where should I focus though? Well, let's look at crowd level. Let's look at the busy websites versus the less busy websites. Craigslist, it's packed, folks. If you're going to use Craigslist, use it right. Make the most of it because it is packed with people. And if you're not posting correctly or you're posting at the wrong times or you're writing the wrong ads, you're wasting those 15-minute sessions that you're dedicating to Craigslist. So make sure you join us to find out how to make the most of it. Social media is pretty crowded. There's a lot of people. Heck, there's 1 billion of them on Facebook alone. Forget all the other social sites we talk about. It's pretty crowded out there. And more so, if you're not engaging correctly and have the right edge ranks going on, then you're not even showing up on Facebook for a lot of people. And your tweets are going right past them. They're not even seeing or hearing what you've got to say. Make sure you take advantage of the choosing the right areas to focus on based on the information we're sharing with you today. Blogging's pretty crowded. Why is it so crowded? Because Google reads all your blogs. So it's a little crowded still because there's so much going on. Yet in certain places, certain areas, certain keywords, blogging's wide open still. So this is why blogging makes kind of the middle of our target. Paid advertising. You don't get a lot of competition if your keywords are done well. Why? Because nobody else wants to spend the money. The big boys aren't competing with you on the long tail that we've talked about, and a lot of the other agents aren't competing with you either. Paid advertising, because so many people say, I don't want to waste my money because they're doing it wrong, becomes a less crowded opportunity. And then, of course, there's your sphere. Hopefully, this is the least crowded. If you have a lot of people in your sphere, hopefully they're not competing with other agents that they're in their sphere as well. Make sure that your sphere is the least crowded. Even if it is, there's only one or two other agents you're probably competing with on people. So now we understand how much time we should dedicate to each. Now we understand which ones are crowded and which ones are not crowded. Let's focus on the next area as you decide which areas you want to focus on in 2013. And let's talk about cost. Let's just throw that up there and red light and green light it for you. Well, if we start with the expensive red light area, that's paid advertising. That is the most expensive. That's the easiest place for you to lose your money. Moderate is going to be blogging. Why? Because there's going to be some expense. You might have an account. You might be using some opportunities with blogging where you're spending some money, whatever you're creating there. You're advertising in your sphere. Maybe you're spending a little bit of money on your signs. You're spending a little bit of money on this. You're spending a little bit of money on that. We want to make sure you're keeping those down on how much you're spending. And then cheap. Well, how much does Craigslist cost you? Nothing. How much does Facebook or Twitter cost you? Nothing. If you're doing it correctly, using the time properly, these cost you nothing. So now we know how much time. Now we know the crowd level that we're competing with, and now we know our expense. You should be able to decide right now which 2 or 3 areas you're going to master with us in 2013. Now, if you want to handle all of them, that's fantastic. If you're getting started and you're saying, I need to pick, you can figure out which one to pick first. We're not done. That's right. We're not done. Because our next question is people ask us, what if I need a lead today versus I'm not in a rush? Some of you told me your goals, and I could tell by your goals you're newer to real estate. Well, that's great. You're starting right. Some of you also told me your goals, and I heard them. They were larger, which means you're established. You've got business happening. Well, if you need a lead tomorrow, if you are to a point that if you don't have somebody in your car tomorrow because you're not going to have a closing happen in January, and if that happens, you can't pay your mortgage, start on the left. Start with Craigslist today. If you were to focus on Craigslist today, you could have a lead tomorrow. Then as we move along, if you were to focus on paid advertising, you could very easily have a lead tomorrow. Focus on blogging, you're going to start taking a little longer working for it. That's going to be 3 to 6 months before you really probably start to see any returns in the blogging area and in the advertising area. Getting those flyers out there and other advertising, radio ads, anything like that. You're probably seeing 3 to 6 months, unless you're hitting luck, 3 to 6 months on your return. Your sphere, now you're starting to be long-term. Your sphere is going to be long-term before they bring you results. And social media, long-term. You're building relationships in your sphere. You're building relationships on social media. So if you need a deal tomorrow, get off Facebook and get on Craigslist. Get blogging. If you've got business today and you want to cement your business for next year, you're good right now. It's Chad. I want to make sure that 2013 just keeps going and I'm okay right now.